Shabbat. My name is Nahasanan Amun, and this is part 2 of the reading of the Gospel of Yanun on the sacred feminine, the lotus of life. Papyrus number 23. And the bones found in Africa were not related by DNA to the Cro-Magnon caveman of Europe, the Adamite seed. The other races on Earth, such as Negroids, Africans, Aborigines, Australia, Indians, India, Asians, Asia, all predate the Adamites, which was the last species of 6 etheric race of whites from Nordics down to Adamites. They will uncover 6 separate species of red and white races. Just as you look at those with yellow fur, pale skin, and blue eyes, you also will see of them those with red fur, spotted skin, freckles, and green eyes. 2 people who both descend from the original Nordic Norse, who are transparent with white fur, white skin, silver to clear, white eyes, the white race. The white race are the Europeans, the red race are the Arabs. Both are of the seed of Adamites, by way of Eve, who only date back 6,000 years, not before. Yet, before them, the Tğᴇ, aliens, did experiments on this planet, up in North Europe, and made a hybrid race of Nordics by mixing simian seeds with their own, the Kamahu, Pleiadians, from Pleiades star system. The results at first was Cro-Magnon 8-man with their own blood type, Rh negative. From this, first of the 6 species of 6 etheric race, down to the Fᴜᴜrāds, also Rh negative blood types from A, B, AB, and O, down to Adamites, who himself was Rh negative O type. So the white race and red race both know who they really are, and from whom they were grafted and cloned and made 6,000 years ago. What most don't remember, being made to forget, is the Muzad Mutatalu, extraterrestrials from Makmah, Pleiades star system, and their DNA donors, those who also donated their DNA along with the canines, porcines, and simians. And finally, in the making of the Adamite, the last of the 6 species, the grafting and separating and use of body of the Anunnaki, Nenhersag for Eve, Titi, and Enki for Adam, Adapa, the genetic splicing done by the son of Nudimud, Enki, Anunnaki, geneticism, and Heset, Egyptian geneticist. This son was named Dahutwi in Mahmat, Egypt, and Ningizida and as Anunnaki. This was the making of the Adamite race as you read and record it in their own Sajalat records of the Bible, the Quran, and the Book of Mormon, created and made for 2 purposes only, slave labor and food. So in fact, many Muzad Mutatalu, extraterrestrials of many kind, come and came to this planet, the Blue Rock, for their own reasons. Some as spiritual teachers, some hunters, some miners, some searching for food, some seeking a new planet to take over and make their home, and others for unknown reasons. Some are on record, as well as on cave doorways of the Cro-Magnon and Nordics, noted for assisting the Norse genetically and developing species of them and individual minds and savage intellects, for which their offspring is the progeny of the 3 groups of Celtics, with a C, Celtics with the S, and Celtics, who fathered the 6 kings, or Vikings. Found with them is their ancient symbol of the 3 circles for the 3 groups. Many groups joined with others to form a power base to invade planets and take control. Many of the interstellar reptilians who came to planet Earth came from Drago, yet by way of Makmah, Pleiades, to Aldebaran and the northeast Orion, a space station allowed to them. The records reveal these androgynous reptilians are known as Dragonians and took control of the Pleiadians when the making of the Nordic race occurred, in order to instill within the developing 8-man the spark of individuated mind, will, who predate Adamites. The Zahan, intellect, and sense of separate self, not knowing this would develop into rebellion in their Fadar, nature. Ones on the planet Earth, Pamakmahu, the Pleiadians, missionaries' experiments with simians in their own DNA birthed Cro-Magnon with their blood type of Rh negative and 47 chromosomes of savants with 48 chromosomes of simians to downgrade to 46 chromosomes of Yᴏᴜ genes, Homo to Homo erectus to Homo sapiens. These Cro-Magnon and their progeny mixed with others such as Neanderthal, spreading throughout Europe and Asia. The ancient Pleiadians' offsprings of Nordics was in their image of transparent fur, pale, white, thin skin, and silver to white eyes called ghost people or the original white people, both males and females. You will find this recorded also by the Greek historians. Apollodorus claimed that 2 of the 7 Pleiadian sisters, Selene and Alcyone, had sexual intercourse with a European king called Poseidon, and the offsprings of their union was half human, half fish, that is to say, a homosaurus. They try to deceive you by madat, word games, to hide the sawab, truth. Alien females had sex with reptilian humanoids. They claim that this union eventually populated Merab, Europe. Females, Pleiadians, Rh negative XX, and males, Dragonians, Rh negative XY. Why and how the Rh negative spread throughout Europe and is still found in most Europeans, from France to Spain to Asia, and now in America, alien blood type Rh negative. Their daughters claim that the Pleiadian females laid with the most renowned heroes and gods, and thus became the first Salafu ancestors of the larger proportions or portions of the Caucasoid humanoids. This is how Zupu, the red zone, was the germinated and by whom the Salafu of the white and red race. Some agreeable Zahafu reptilians also arrived in Africa from Sirius star systems and brought to Africa's Egypt the wisdom of Orion as well. They as well mixed their DNA and was Rh positive blood types. They taught alchemy, genetic breeding, and crossbreeding to the Negroids, who later became the Dogon tribe, moved from Egypt by invading Canaanites southward to other parts of Africa such as Mali. All of the world's secret societies use symbolism to represent their workings on planet ET. Each unlocks their mysteries. They each try to keep their workings behind the scenes as cults, clans with the K, clans with the C, clandestine, clubs, organizations, governments, and religions. All have signs, symbols, and seals to present their inner purpose everywhere you look. All in some way relate to extraterrestrials, aliens. It's patriarchal, male-ruled religions taught by male Kameu, aliens, and doctrines of life and living, which are completely outdated. Nuwapians, you need to recognize that such doctrines of the Bible, Quran, Talmud, and Hadith Madras, and Sunnah are relevant for this technological age. All religions of the Hebrews have their root from the Persian religion of Zoroastrianism that includes Jewishism, Christianism, and Muslimism. And as you know, Nuwapians, in Chaldees, where the father of Hebrew, Abram, originally named Ibrahim, became later Abraham, and the Ibrahim, a Persian called Hebrew, Genesis chapter 14, verse 3, Genesis chapter 11, verses 26 through 32. Sumerian, Ibrahim, son of Tiru. Hebrew, Abraham, son of Terah. Arabic, Ibrahim, son of Azar. The highest deity of the Persians was called Atar, deity of light and fire. So you see why Jews, Christians, and Muslims claim their God is the light of the world. Zoroastrianism was the religion taken from the Sumerianism, which was born in Babylonia, Mesopotamia, given to them, according to them by aliens from above, recorded on stone tablets as Nibiruin, Anunnaki, humanoid aliens, the same. Sumerian, Anaki, humanoid aliens. These beings who were shapeshifters came down to planet Earth from their planet craft called Nibiru, and they were called Anunnaki. The Q is sometimes written as K. They created the Adamites, or ruddy race, on Taha. So the religion of the Bible and Quran are from these aliens called illuminated humanoid beings. In time, they became deities or God in Mesopotamian religions, which include Judaism, Jerusalem, Christianism, Greece and Rome, Islamism, Arabia. It's all a mirage of a desert. The thirsty takes it for maya, water, when it is not. For when they arrive at the spot, their hopes vanish away. So is the religions of the Bible and Quran, only mirages, illusions, and those of our people who follow them end up with the retribution of the disappointment, even thirstier than before the haqakat, actual facts, sawab, truth, not mere beliefs, fictional stories. How long is no longer the question, for their end is upon them now, and all the other Salalu races on the Mekwak planet Earth see the Kakasu or Caucasoid, Taha, Earth, Adamu, Adamites for who and what they really are. And most are separated from them, or are slowly separating from them, and their wars and killings, as you read in their Jesus the Christ's own book that reveals their end times. Revelations chapter 15, verses 1 through 8, chapter 16, verse 1 through 21, chapter 17, verse 1 through 18, chapter 18, verse 1 through 24. For they know now who he is. Revelations chapter 13, 1 through 18. Isaiah chapter 14, verses 12. Revelations chapter 9, verse 12. The man of sin. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 3. Jesus knew who his own people were. In John chapter 8, verse 44. Ye are of your father the devil, and the lust of your father ye will do. He was a murderer from the beginning, and abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it. Now note, Nuwapu, he is speaking to his own people, Hebrews, Israelites, Jews. And he said also in Revelation chapter 2, verse 9, and chapter 3, verse 9, that they are temples where the devil dwells, the synagogues of Satan. Why? Is it that only the Negroes in the West are the only ones of the original Yasaru families of Earth who live in his Shabbat image? 1. The Negroids. 2. The Aborigines. 3. The Indians. 4. The Asians. That still Saduk trust and believe in them, while others are breaking his Hajayat spells, religious and Hazabad, cultural, returning to their own and standing off watching it come down slowly. It's because of race mixing of the slaves by their masters, the Europeans and the Arabs, who mixed their own damam, blood, with the mulatto slaves to put them over the darker slaves as you still see today in the Western Hemisphere as well as in the Caribbean. And those in Europe, they have the blood of the beast running through them, hoping one day to be accepted as equals, not knowing the white Salal race can't accept them as equals because of genetic laws they created, that if you have 1% of any other blood, you are non-white. So, to accept non-full whites will be the end of the white race as intermarriage becomes widespread. So it's a false hope again, a deception for darker people to think Dahir, Mulbanu, pure whites, will ever accept them as equal with equal rights. It won't happen and doesn't need to happen. They need our damam, blood. We don't need theirs. Fatar al-Fatar, natural nature, did not plan that, and their alien makers, which were Rh negative blood types, know that will kill us off. Listen, we are Rh positive blood type. Think, negative is negative. You see, negative blood types kill positive blood types. Don't believe me? Check it out. Positive is always positive. Negative is always negative. Now, because of the rapes by the Europeans with our people as slaves, some of our own have Rh negative blood type. That does not make them evil or wicked, only that if a female, their Rh negative can kill the fetus of a male who is Rh positive. So know who you are exchanging bodily fluids with, because it can be fatal to childbirth. Their overlords implanted the Rh negative blood type originally to take over this planet, which was originally all Rh positive blood types, originally in Africa. Wᴏᴜ is here to teach you these hakakat, actual facts. None before Panabab Yanun, the master teacher, myself, has taught you these truths of yourself and others. Those who accept Wᴏᴜ as Mᴜsᴛ have demonstrated their Sayem Aᴜᴅ, divine mind, and by practicing Patarak, the way, they shall inherit the earth for the next 24,000 year cycle and will establish for themselves the perfect way of life, respected finally once again by the other original races. Any of our own race who turn down Wᴏᴜ after reading and studying it is turning down the promise of salvation. They must certainly be a deranged entity. As you can see and study Wᴏᴜ, this can be found even to this very day in the Adamite race, who mixed and spread this to their predecessors of other humanoid species. 1. Leadership by force of violence. 2. Competitions, activities. 3. Bisexual activities. 4. Cannibalistic activities. 5. Pedophilia activities. 6. Troop or communal activities. The 6 traits you see listed above have been passed on over millions of years and by genetic tampering 6,000 years ago to make a hybrid Tղᴇ creature by use of 1. The caveman, 2. The canine, wolf, 3. The porcine, hog, 4. The simian, monkey. What was made was a kind of Frankenstein, or a kind of man, kin to man, man's kind, mankind. The result is a human monster, a beast man, who, by his grafted nature, has become a killer, a competitor, a sexual deviant, a human virus. Next by generations of 4, 100 years. 1. The person. 2. Their 2 parents. 3. Their grandparents. 4. Their great-grandparents. That is 4 generations that is passed on while in the raham, womb of the mother's placenta, which contains small vents that receive generations of both Menashu parents and all the persons of their characteristics, even of those persons outside the immediate bloodline or Yasar family, by exchange of bodily fluids of any kind, which enter the person and become a part of their Yahasat genes, just as what you, Baru, eat and Sharub, drink, becomes you. The poisons are in the air and environment which you breathe each second, each day of your life. Where you are, what you do, what you ingest, inhale, becomes a part of you. Even colors and sounds affect your damagh, brain, and as a result, your khatat, body, is affected by them all as well. So, Wᴏᴜ, Dahuma, overstand this hakak, actual fact. Cell life is only 48 life cycles. That is, each cell can only recycle 48 times, then it dies out. This is done by your telomeres at the tip of your chromosomes, which determine the cell's growth, and this is of the 999 billion cells in your khatat, body. The way to clean your mukwan, being, is from outside inward first, then inward outward. The wahan first is physical, while the second is spiritual. You can cut the world you live in each day off, or run and hide away from all others. Yet, you must learn to know and feel those and what is poisoning your outer and inner being, affected by your ma'adat, seasons, and female 4 cycles. Knowing what and who was passed on to you by your last 400 years, as well as your last 4 million years by seed mixing with mankind. Yes, the ape man, man's kind, the human beast, knows his own true traits and nature from the 4 beasts: the canine, the porcine, the simian, and the caveman. And these mental and physical characteristics are still with Adamites, Cainites, Enosites, Canaanites to this very day. Their mental characteristics: 1. Killing of all kinds. 2. Competitions of all kinds. 3. Sexual explicitity of all kinds, lust. 4. Love of flesh, meat of all kinds. 5. Desire to rule all others. 6. Liar, deceptive, wicked, evil. And the physical characteristics, just as the beast gene grafted into them. 1. They have fangs like animals. 2. They have fur like animals. 3. Their body shape, skin color is pale like animals. 4. Their eye pupil colors are like animals. 5. The way they speak their tongues. 6. Their wild forms of amusement, reactions, or recreations, entertainment. 7. Their so-called music is howls, screams, yelling, and yodeling. He hates all others. Genesis chapter 3:15. And I will put enmity between thee and the woman, and between thy seed and her seed. It shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel. Enmity is hate, just as in the Hawaiian animal kingdom. They will fight and attack all others not their own. Today called fighting, wars, even religious wars. They can't live with others in peace. They must overtake others, rape their people, kill and steal from others. This is part of their animalistic nature, not being of natural nature. Yet, of a grafted kind of beast by unnatural nature. Behemoth, Jonah chapter 3 verse 8. But let man and beast be covered with sackcloth, and cry mightily unto God. Yea, let them turn every one from his evil way, and from the violence that is in their hands, man and man's kind. Their animalistic behavior are expressed in their arts, cinemas, music, what comes to their minds as vampires, werewolves, reptilians, and creatures of all kinds, created from their inner visions, the human beast. All of this affects the human brain and puts it out of harmony, and your ba'a, soul, male, and ka'a, spirit, female, sides become in a state of disharmony and must be retuned. These two fundamental flows of nashat, energy. The right side of the brain, or the ka'a, spirit of the female, needs zinc, Zn30, atomic number charge. The left side of the brain, or the ba'a, soul of the male, needs copper, Cu29 charge. These are important because the link between the metal and your khadat body is tightly bound when held in your hands, and with the function of the left and right hemisphere of your brain. The harmonizing of the body by these in the right way in the right tones of A flat, A major, and A sharp activates your divine link. Female is a first, A sharp. The female voice is to the right of the middle C, and the male is first, A flat, male voice, to the left of middle C. In perfection, there are A major, male in the lower octave, and the person's eyes, two eyes, of sight becomes linked to the one of beyond physical sight, the pineal gland, and open divine eye, the third eye, the all-seeing eye. And the persons begin to use more of their damag, brain activity, able to see interdimensionally worlds, beyond tapalat worlds. And that opens you up to time traveling clockwise, to future counterclockwise, to past or to bend space, to travel long distances within a moment of waqut time, or then, now, then, 24 billion miles per moment, the speed of fakar, thought. You become a time traveler first, mentally, or mentally, then physically, as etheric energy transformed inside outward, the ether journey. And your etheric body creates a shield for your physical body so that no cells are disrupted or damaged in the journey through time and space as matter. This is transfiguration. This is shape-shifting. This is also a form of astral projection. This is teleportation. It happens as fast as you change your aqal, mind. It happens as you think from where you may be to another place, home or another country. It happens when you fakur, think, or remember your childhood, or past, place, or even events in your life. Now all you have to do is learn how to apply it. Your real inner powers you have, yet don't use because of the false belief system you've accepted. Also, your aqal, mind, has powers over both gravity and levity, giving you sakhem, power to levitate, and power of levitation of great stones and monoliths. Your Salafu ancestors had these powers, and you have some of their Yakhasat genes, so in fact, you have the same powers. Yet, the Tğᴇ spell of hypnotic spell 6,000 years ago cast upon you has you thinking you don't have them. So as man thinketh, so shall he or she be. Now I have come in this bashar, human flesh, to restore all your ancient wisdom if you will only wake up to it. My Kharadu, I write this gospel to you so that you will not be ignorant any longer of who you are and what powers you really have. You must first understand the three as one, that is to you, then, now, then, or past, present, future, and is time, matter, space, are in fact all one and the same. As your soul, body, spirit are three and the same. Birth, growth, death, all three are the same. So in fact, there, here, there are the same place and time. Up, here, down is the same. The secret of three as one and the same. You are a three-dimensional being, ready to experience the fourth you, or etheric you. 9 to the 9th power of 9, or 999, overpowers calculations in math. Know your third eye, or the pineal gland, in the center of your brain between the two halves is your gateway. Once you learn how to activate it, it produces your melatonin, the master's secret, which was the secret of your divine being. Master of time is the pineal gland. The hard kawas, pine cone, pine, from Latin, pinus, or pinus, an evergreen tree with cones and needles-shaped leaves. Pineal body, Latin, pinnae, pine cone, a small cone-shaped body in the brain that produces a hormone. On the subject, there was much more to know at the right time to the right ones of you only. Note, the Anunnaki always hold up the pine cone. My children, Nuwapians, I, Yanun, in this, my gospel, am not writing for you a new doctrine, yet an old one, the same I taught from 1970 AD, which some of you had since the beginning of beginnings. This old doctrine is the secret balagh, message you have heard. Yet, I am again writing it as a new message, for its time has come. Its sawab, truth, can be seen in you with Yanunism, Wunawap, as of 2000 AD, hereafter time. Because ignorance is passing and the sawab truth is already here with you right now. In these days and times, at the end of the fourth cycle of 6,000 years, or 24,000 years, the last being from 4000 BC to 2000 AD, and now we start our new 24,000 year cycle of 4 to 6,000 year cycles, the next Tapao world. Here on earth, after the last 6,000 years of faith, belief, fiction, legends, myths of the Adamu Tadruhat, Adamites' dominions, the end of their world, the beginning of ours. Any one of you who claim to be Nuwapians, yet hates his fellow Nuwapian, is still in ignorance and is in much need of a ashuk, unconditional divine love, or love divine. And what is the message of this, the gospel of Yanun? That the world is transforming back to its original state, that being matriarchal Tapao world from the patriarchal world, that is from the male dominance back to female dominance. This concludes part 2 from the Gospel of Yah Nun on the Sacred Feminine, Lotus of Life. Stay tuned for part 3.